The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle, where you can access your full potential right now. Finally break free from destructive habits. That dream life, if you want it, you can have it. This is where you transform your health, mind, business, and relationships. Or do nothing and keep your life the way it is. But if you're ready for change, you're in the right place. This is where you're gonna learn how to live a habit-based lifestyle. You are tuning in to the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with your host, Jesse Ewing. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, guys? I wanted to interview Dr. David Boyd, who is obviously he's a doctor, but specializes in kind of life health optimization. And I wanted to bring him on today to really talk about his experience and his results inside the Habit-Based Lifestyle Business Accelerator. David, just want to thank you for being on here today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
So, you've been in the program a little over 30 days. And can you talk a little bit about some of the things that you were struggling with prior to coming into this program and kind of, the path that you've been down just over the last year?
Absolutely. So, if you look at how most doctors get their patients, the majority of doctors accept medical insurance. And so therefore they rely on insurance companies to basically have those patients handed to them. They get kind of funneled to them that way. And it's a whole process, so I wanted to sidestep all of that and not have the limitations of medical insurance. And really it was a different group of people, of patients that I was interested in, instead of folks that were interested in just dealing with medical problems as they came up. Instead, the exact opposite, to be proactive and make sure the problems don't come up in the first place, right? Sure. So I knew it was going to take a different approach. For the last 18 months, what I had been doing is a video every day. So I was doing a video every day on Facebook. It was good in the sense that I learned how to talk on live camera and so forth. But I mean, really, I think I got one patient out of 350 videos over that's a year of videos. I got one patient. So needless to say, just the effort that I was putting in, I wasn't getting the return on,
Right.
So I knew I needed to do something different, and I was getting really, really frustrated. So when I learned of your program, I was really excited because I saw some of the case studies that you had and some of the wins that people were having. So naturally, I thought to myself, okay, well, wait a minute, would this work for me? It's in my industry is different, right?
Right.
It's different. How could this possibly work for me?
Right.
And then that led to a conversation between you and I.
Yeah. So tell me some of the things that you have tried. So you've tried Facebook ads.
Yeah.
How did that work for you when you did that?
Not well. Now, mind you, I didn't put a ton of money behind it because I was scared, right? Okay. I mean, you go and you'll spend let's say $500. I think that's the max I spent. I was like, oh man, I did this really good video. This is going to hit big time, and Facebook is very good at dialing your demographic and ask you these questions and everything. And I put this money behind it. Nothing. Nothing out of it. So yeah, it was a bit heartbreaking in that sense. And then it was okay, well, wait a minute. Well, I just spent this money for what? I didn't get anything out of it,
Yeah. Well, I would say you're one of the lucky ones who only got away with $500. And then you tried funnels, right?
I did. Yeah. So I tried funnels, and I learned, it was a great learning curve. I learned how to make a funnel, right? And it was kind of fun putting it together and everything. But the point of it is results, right? So what were the results at the end of that? Well, the results were I was trying to push people to a funnel, and then the return that I would get, it wasn't that great. I think the most I got out of like a year worth of running funnels was, I think, maybe 10 people, you know? So, and if that's about half of them actually qualified as a lead that actually turned into a paying patient, you know? So it's just the return on time versus money, it wasn't there.
Okay, so kind of before you came in, you're shooting tons of videos. You've tried Facebook ads, you tried funnels. So at that point, you're pretty frustrated. Like, you're trying to build this business. What else? I mean, you're working 2 other jobs when I first started talking to you, right?
Yes. Yes. So it's, man, the path of entrepreneurship, I've learned it is not for the faint of heart. Like, this is the reason why I get why there's so many employed physicians, right? Because it's a hard job as it is, right? You're dealing with people's health, but then you manage like business on top of it. And when you go into business, it's like it's strategy and marketing and like the unsexy stuff like budgeting and like all these things that you could encompass 24 hours a day, easy. Like, you could just never stop, right? So, and that's before you even take care of your patient. So it was like, for all that effort, you want to see like a return for that effort. So
Yeah, I always think of, like, being a doctor is like, hey, I get to, fix people or tell them what's wrong with them. Being a businessman is like being a surgeon, a dentist, a chiropractor, a doctor, and like all these, like, it's like being like 20 different versions of a doctor. And, it's kind of like, okay, pick your poison. And, I think a lot of people don't realize what it is to be an entrepreneur and business owner, like what it really takes to be successful. So, those are,
so I learned.
well, you're learning. Yeah. So what I would say, let me ask you this, man. Like, so coming in, you see, other people were having results. You're like, hey, is this really going to work for me? So you've been in the program a little over 30 days. What has been kind of the tangible results? And then we'll talk about some of the other results you've gotten.
Yeah. So, I mean, the tangible results, the numbers prove itself. It was an extra $22,000 to my bottom line in the first 30 days, which is absolutely awesome, and really it's the method that you have down. Because when you're on the outside of it, you're like, what's this guy doing? Right? You're like, what's this guy up to? And then once you actually see what the method is, it's simple, and it's like so simple that it's brilliant. What I really like about it is it goes back to the heart of medicine, actually, which is making relationships. And that's really why I became a doctor in the first place. So it's amazing to me that, here now, like, the things have become like almost Zoom based worldwide, that here you've developed this very simple yet effective method to build relationships over this. So hats off to you for your innovation.
Yeah, thank you. And you did 22,000 your first 30 days, and then just in the last week you've added another 7,000.
Yeah.
Onto what you're doing. So you're basically at 30K in about 5 weeks. What has been kind of an unexpected result that you've gotten out of this program that maybe you didn't think you were going to get?
The gratification, so that's something that, frankly, I've been longing for. It's when you put all this effort into trying, the crux of all this is that you're trying to help people, right? And so it's like, when you have this thing that that people need, that people want, but you can't figure out how to get it to them, or that you can make enough noise that they'll say, oh, it's right here in front of me. So right. once you make that happen, and then that you're actually building those relationships out, and you have people that are like, please, like, I've been looking for you here. I want to sign up for your service. I want to sign up for your product. Like, you're who I've been looking for as a solution to my problem. It's just really gratifying as both a doctor and as an entrepreneur to have that.
Okay, awesome. So, just thinking about the first 5 weeks you've been in here, what are you seeing now for you going forward inside of this program?
It's really, and mind you, I mean, I haven't even finished all of the training as yet, so I'm excited to do that. And what I see going forward is I'm learning, I'm learning as I go, as far as how to connect, how to make, sales, but more so to ask myself to rise to a higher standard, right? So it's like, how can I bring more value to people?
Sure.
And I think that's what really separates your program versus learning how to build a funnel or something, right? Like one is like, here, sell to this person. This is more so, okay, listen, it is your obligation to over deliver and to build more of what can serve this person. And what I'm finding is that the more you do right by people, then money just naturally comes.
Right. Yeah, for sure, man. Let me ask you this, there's a lot of business coaches out there and, I'm guessing you probably worked with one before, kind of like this lifestyle business thing that I talk about, but talk about the system as a whole. Is it simple for you to follow? Is it difficult? Or can you talk a little bit about that, how it's been for you so far?
The difficulties that come about are the ones that I've brought forth. So it's one of these things where it's like, you've laid it out very simply, where it's like, okay, just do this, right? And then that's when I'll turn on like Dr. Brain of like, well, what about this or what about that, and so forth and so on. And it's like, just do this. And so that in itself, the simplicity has been more so the challenge for me. And I think it's really because I have had business coaches and such in the past that have presented things in a very, very complex manner. So I'm kind of used to that. Okay, well, where else is the complexity? It's like almost I'm like looking for it so much that sometimes that I'll create it personally. But that's what I mean is that you've developed it's a beautiful, simple method that if someone just follows the steps, here being in this group with other folks, I see it across all these different industries, including my own, that it just works.
Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about what it's like to be in a group of business owners who, are all kind of wanting to do the same thing you are, obviously getting leads. But can you talk a little bit about what that's like?
It's exciting is what it is. So it brings a level of accountability, number one, right? It's like we're all rooting for each other. Like we all want the other person to win and have a big win. But there's also this part where it calls you, like you call yourself out, right? Because it's like, if it's like, 9 out of 10 people are having the win and you're not, you're like, hey, wait a minute. Like the spotlight's then on you, so it reinforces the behavior. It's like, okay, let me do what I know I need to do. So the accountability is awesome. The excitement, it just kind of builds this momentum to move you forward. And it's a good group. It's a good group that we have.
Awesome, man. So let me ask you this. If somebody was on the fence of purchasing this program, what would you tell them?
I would tell them I was on the fence initially too, and the bottom line is like, if you're at a point in your business where you're getting to that place where you're like, I need to do something different. Like I need to make a change. I need to move forward. I would challenge to say like really, what do you have to lose? Like so often what comes down to is like, what I'm learning as a business owner is like, we'll look at things where like, we don't think twice about making an investment in like a car or a watch or like some other like tangible item that brings us like happiness for a remote period of time versus actually making an investment in your business that is going to pay dividends.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you care about your business, put money into your business and let's go.
Right. Yeah, I mean, for sure, man. I always think of it is easy to put money into a car, money into a house, but and they are investments, but not at the same level your business. So like, let me ask you this: anything else that you want to add about this program, or anything else that you've gotten out of this since you've been in it?
I just want to add that I'm grateful. I'm grateful to have the opportunity to be part of it, and to have you coaching me through. And I'm excited, man. Like, I'm excited for the future of not just being in the program, but continuing to learn. Because that's what I really feel is that, like, it's like I was putting a curriculum together myself, constantly like grabbing the next book that came out, or like looking for, like, oh, here's a funnel hack or something like that. That I was like, it was like trying to like grab at all these different things, consistently, instead of having like a simple system that you follow and it works. And it's been a great journey just in the first 30 days. So I'm excited to go further.
Awesome, man. Yes, I'm super excited for you, and just super proud of what you've been able to do just in the first 5 weeks, and can't wait to see what you do in the next 5 months. So, yeah, man, super grateful to have you in the program.
Oh, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Okay, man. Well, hey, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll catch up soon.
Sounds good. Thanks, dude.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.
The purpose of this show is to guide you to realign with habits that get you to live the life you've always dreamed of. This is the Habit-Based Lifestyle Podcast with Jesse Ewing.